I didn't start making bread because I wanted a hobby. I started because my husband was homesick. He's from Costa Rica, and back in 2006, we had just moved into our first house, two babies under 3. He missed the kind of bread you eat with a cafecito in the afternoon. Fresh, simple, the kind you smother with butter and jelly. So I made him French baguettes. I had never made them before. I second guessed every single step. But when they came out of the oven, right before he walked through the door, and the whole house smelled like fresh bread, and he smiled, that quiet, relieved smile, he may have even teared up a bit. I remember thinking, I can do this. This doesn't have to be complicated. That was the beginning, sort of. I'm Sandra. I've been baking for over 20 years. I run a cottage food bakery, and I teach home bakers how to make real sourdough that fits their real life. In this video, I'm going to share with you why I actually make bread at home every single week and why it might make more sense for your life than you think. Stay till the end. I'm going to share the one thing that surprised me most about making my own bread. I didn't expect it, and my students don't expect it either. So after those baguettes, I thought, okay, I'll just get a bread machine. Fresh bread every morning, simple enough, right? But the bread machine beeped at 5 a.m. The dogs lost their minds. My husband woke up, nobody was happy. That was the end of the bread machine. So life went on, and I went back to buying bread like everyone else most of the time. I was always baking something though, scones, banana bread, muffins, the occasional bread, but I didn't have a rhythm. It wasn't until 2018 that I actually started baking my own bread on a regular basis. And when I did, when I finally took time to find a rhythm to do it simply and consistently, I noticed something I didn't expect. I felt better. Not in a dramatic way, just I stopped feeling heavy after eating bread. I felt satisfied from a slice or two in a way that meant I wasn't going to be standing at the counter eating half the loaf without thinking. We've all been there. I felt full, actually full, in a way that store bread never did for me. And it tasted better. Not a little better, but a lot better. Have you ever looked at the ingredient list on a store bread bag? Really looked at it? And I'll do a whole video on that because it deserves its own conversation. But I'll just say, once I started making my own and I felt the difference in my body, I couldn't go back to buying it. Not because I was being rigid about it, more of why would I? That quiet shift, the better taste, the better feeling, 2 slices and actually satisfied, that's what kept me baking. It's not a hobby. It wasn't a goal. Just the simple, honest experience of food that was actually working for my body. And bonus, my husband liked it. So before I go any further, I want to say something important. Making your own bread is not about becoming a baker. It's not about a sourdough aesthetic or a perfectly scored loaf or having a version of yourself that is all together first. It's about choosing what goes on your table. This is the whole idea. And once that clicked, everything changed about how I approached it. So why do I actually do it? Every week without fail, there are 3 reasons that keep me coming back. The first one, I know what's in it. Have you ever flipped over the store bread bag and read the full ingredients list? Even the nice looking, expensive stuff? The list goes on and on and on. Preservatives, dough conditioners, names you can't pronounce. Those ingredients are not there for your health. They're there for shelf life. My artisan bread has 4 ingredients: flour, water, salt, and yeast. And for someone who's trying to be more intentional about what her family eats, but is tired of paying $15 a loaf at the farmer's market, that simplicity matters a lot. Which brings me to the second reason. It costs almost nothing. My homemade artisan bread costs about $1.50 per loaf to make. And that's if I calculate my time. Less if I'm just counting the ingredients. One batch makes 2 loaves. That's $3 for the same quality bread you'd pay $12 or $15 for at a market. Once I did that math, I couldn't unsee it. And the third reason is the one my students are most relieved to hear. It actually fits into real life. When I first tried sourdough back in 2019, because my customers kept asking for it and I finally gave in, I was intimidated, overwhelmed, and frustrated. I felt completely chained to my dough. Timers going off every 30 minutes, constantly checking, hovering, wondering if I missed the window. As a wife, mother, and business owner, that was never going to work long term. So I went back to what I knew, my own simple method that took me less than 7 minutes, hands on time. And I experimented with adding the sourdough starter. And guess what? It worked every single time. No bannetons, no stretch and folds, no Dutch ovens. The simplicity was a relief to me and my customers. I was able to make sourdough bread without it taking days. My customers thanked me, and my family thanked me. I was relieved. Now, my rhythm looks like this. I mix my dough around dinner time while the kitchen is still warm. The dough sits on the counter while I do everything else. Make dinner, maybe help with the homework, well, when the kids were doing homework, run errands, wind down for the night. About 4 hours later, right before bed, it goes in the fridge. Then the next day, or when I'm ready, I shape and bake it. That's my routine. The time I actually do something with it, less than 7 minutes. The time I actually think about it, hardly at all. The dough does not need you the way the internet will convince you it does. And once you understand that, sourdough stops feeling like one more thing to manage and starts feeling like something that just quietly happens alongside your real life. I promised you this, so here it is. The first time I baked sourdough, I used one of those complicated methods. I won't sugarcoat it. I had spent days on it, following every instruction, hoping all the time and research would actually pay off. The loaf went in the oven, the smell was incredible, and I thought, please work, please. The timer went off. I pulled it out. I picked it up immediately because I was too eager to wait. It was hard as a rock. I may or may not have gone to my room and cried. All that time, all that work, and it was a solid rock. When I came back, it had softened as it had cooled. I had completely overreacted. I laughed, got my butter, and ate a slice. And here's what I didn't expect. Something shifted in me, not because the loaf was perfect, because I finished it. I followed something all the way through with my own hands, and it worked. But I also knew, standing there with my butter, that there had to be a simpler way to get that feeling, because that process, it wasn't something I could repeat every week. It wasn't something most people could repeat at all. The confidence, that quiet, real feeling of I made this, that doesn't come from a complicated method. It just comes from finishing a loaf, any loaf. Made simply, made consistently, made in the middle of your life. That's what my students find. They come in thinking they just are going to come learn how to bake bread. And somewhere around their third or fourth loaf, they realize it's something a little bigger than that. A rhythm in their week that wasn't there before. A confidence they didn't see coming. That's what I was really chasing. Not a perfect loaf, just that feeling. That same feeling when I made the French baguettes for my husband. So I wish someone had told me this before I ever even started the sourdough process. You don't need to understand everything before you begin. You just need to see the big picture clearly, the whole sequence, start to finish in plain language, and then take the step. That's what was missing for me. Not skill, not time, not a better kitchen, just a clear picture before I began. It would have saved me so much time in research. That's exactly why I created the Beginner Sourdough Roadmap. It's a simple, free, printable guide that shows you the 5 stages of your first loaf and ideas of how to get and make a starter. No overwhelm, no conflicting advice, just the big picture laid out clearly so you can finally see the whole thing before you decide if you want to try it. So 3 reasons, all real, all from my actual experience. I know what's in my bread. It fits between dinner and bedtime, and it gave me a quiet confidence I didn't see coming. If any part of this made you think, okay, maybe I actually could do this, I want you to hold on to that because I believe you can. You just need one clear path. Download the Beginner Sourdough Roadmap at the link below, print it out, stick it on your fridge, and let it calm the noise a little. And when you're ready to bake, it will be right there waiting for you. And if you're not ready yet, that's okay too. Save this for when you are. You can do this. All right, we'll see you in the next video.